congrats on your century. Obviously, a good batting wicket, but you use different areas to score runs. You and Tony de Zorzi. So, what was the focus on? Was playing the sweep and the first sweep? Also your priority in scoring runs?
Yeah. Before the game, my game plan was to sweep, and then I struggled with the actual sweep. So it was more the reverse sweep today. And Tone's pretty similar. He was sweeping really well, and like sometimes when it's working on that day, you just commit with it. And he did that really well to rotate strike, and that sort of worked throughout the day.
So during the century, the initial part especially, you're generally an aggressive player, but you were a bit subdued, more than usual. What was going through your mind at that time, and what was your game plan at that moment? And then, of course, how you felt when you scored that century. If you could take us through the whole journey.
Yeah, till lunch it was. I felt like I was scoring quite freely, and then coming in after lunch, I really felt it hard to get off strike. The ball was doing a bit, and it was a good period for them. And then sort of just grafted it out, and then once got the rhythm back again, I felt quite comfortable. And then to get over the three figures was a big relief more than anything.
Tristan, well played today. Like you said, you did have to graft through certain stages after lunch, I think, period after tea as well. Was some of that to do with the pitch, and that it was quite a batting friendly pitch, but not necessarily the sort of pitch where you played very fluently the whole time?
Yeah, I thought it was. They also got it to just enough to get you thinking, and then it was like we said, it was a good batting wicket, but it was hard to score freely. So a bit of stop. So you were going to get yourself out by giving them your wicket, and then so that was that. But then I struggled to score. Still trying to bat. Yeah.
Somehow Chittagong is a place where South Africans have had a massive partnerships. I mean, you guys added 2-1, but what was this thinking when Aiden bought out, and what was that plan for that first session? As you said, the wicket wasn't really that,
Yeah. I didn't even see how Aiden got out, by the way. But I was really nervous up front, and it was nice batting with Tony. He was really calm, and he was flowing quite nicely. And then I give huge credit to him actually. Straight after lunch, he started cramping in his forearm, and this mental strength to go through the whole day was unbelievable. We kept reminding each other, let's go, let's not take anything for granted. So it was really enjoyable batting with him.
Stubbs, congratulations for the maiden test. Although this weekend is very good for batting, but still, what was the most difficult part during your innings? What was the most difficult thing you faced this week?
Just after lunch, when the ball got a bit softer, we thought Tajul got one or two to spin, beat me on the outside, and then also just after lunch, the ball, there was a little bit of tail, just enough to keep you thinking.
So when it comes to this century, where do you rank this innings among the hundreds you scored in all formats perhaps? And also your development as an all-format player, because you started off as a white ball player with the T20s and then the ODI team, and now you're developing your game. So what's the change in mindset that you've had to make, and also perhaps anything technical that you've had to do?
Initially before I played or came out as a T20 player, I was actually always a red ball player, and this definitely ranks as my best or favorite 100. But it's more just the mindset. T20, my favorite format is actually 50 over cricket, because you can still play a bit and score hundreds, where you've got to be really disciplined. It's more a mental game, the test cricket, which is also I love. And
Yeah, you were talking there about sort of Tony de Zorzi getting cramp. The conditions were quite extreme in terms of the heat. How did you kind of cope with that?
Yeah, I've had the last 3 months. We've been in the Caribbean. It's been flipping hot, and then the UAE last month. So yeah, I've sort of just like as much as you can get used to it, being that uncomfortable heat, and then just for me, I sweat a lot, so just trying to keep my gloves dry. Fortunately, I have a nice sponsor who's given me a lot for this tour. But yeah, that's the biggest challenges.
Right?
Yeah, last one, just looking at the wicket, how do you reckon a team will get 20 wickets on this week?
Well, we got KG, so he can just bowl. No, it's going to be a graft for sure, and it's going to be, I reckon I see it like playing out and then happening quickly towards the back end, but yeah, it's going to be a graft.